All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Minetest gameplay of sorts. Yeah, and today will be a fantastic episode because I had no sleep. I've been up for 30 hours. It's my first day off. I work overnights, so there. First, we have a screenshot submission, and as it loads, oh, that'd be funny if my internet went down. There it is. And it's a ship and medieval dock submitted by George. He's becoming quite the builder. That is a very cool ship. And dock system. So there. So thank you, George. I received a very interesting email before we get to the meat of the video here. And I'm not, I'm in no way making fun of the person, but it's really cool that this person from Nova Scotia, yeah, hey there. What was that? What was that show? One of my favorite shows growing up. We didn't stay up to watch Saturday Night Live. We stayed up to watch Second City TV, which was John Candy, Catherine O'Hara, and a whole bunch of other famous people. They created the Bob and Doug McKenzie, the two brothers out in the Great North, eh? Also in Nova Scotia, there's a famous YouTuber, and I'm sure Nova Scotia is huge, but you know, lots and lots of people and everything. But Spears, the Amazing HD, one of my favorite YouTube channels. He's from Nova Scotia. Eh? So, and like I said, I'm not making fun of the person, but it says here, you're Richard Jeffries, you're Mackermine, right? Your new real name has a soothing tamer and more relaxed than back when you were Makermine. I gotta laugh because, and hopefully Makermine sees this. And I replied to the email, no, I'm not Makermine. If you look at our channel pictures, we're obviously different people. But that would be Makermine. His specialty is modding and building worlds, and I've seen a lot of his videos, and you know he's got the real cool horse graphics and animal graphics and stuff. And he was on Minetest videos before I was interviewed, and he had a real cool world where it was almost like a first-person shooter. So no, we're not the same person. Yeah, but you could imagine his character morphing into me, or my character morphing in. That would be one hell of a because I'm a conceptual builder. And I only do creative builds where he's survival. So he would out-survive me. So there you go. But yeah, this video is about the release of my modern world map. So I'm going to take you through actually installing it on Windows, because I'm on Windows, because I can only get OBS to work on Windows and my Mac won't handle OBS. So here we go. So I'm going to put a link in the description and on my website. And it's on MediaFire. It's a file called RGS Modern Final. And it's about 360 megabytes. So you click the link. This is the only way I can do it financially. I can't host it on my server. And I know I'm sure Dropbox and Google Drive will not want these huge file downloads. So the link will be in the description. You download it, and I have it right here on my desktop here. So I am going to extract it. I can't even talk today. I'm trying to find my files here. So as this is extracting, and it's a zip file. So this might take a while. Huh. Okay, while that's doing that, on Windows, I have the run in place files. So you can see here, here's my Minetest 5.0.1. Here's the bin directory and everything else. We are going to put the texture folder in the textures directory. And as soon as the worlds come out, the world is going to go into the worlds folder. One thing about this world, now Michael Gentles, he had tested the world for me. And again, thank you to Michael, because that kind of kicked off everything to get this little endeavor done. He said it will run in single player mode, but it takes an awful lot of RAM. Now I'm at 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it will, for me, run in single player. However, it chews up almost 8 gigs of RAM. So unless you have a machine that is higher than 8 gigs of RAM, it's not going to start. But also on my website, I have the, because I didn't put it in with the file, I have this is how, for Windows, I have a batch file that goes into my bin directory, and it runs the command minetest space -- server -- world name, and then and modern RGS. That will start it, and I'll show you how this runs. That will start it in server mode. I think it's done. Wow, look at that, it's done. So let's go into here, and inside this zip file, you will find the modern RGS world, the texture packs, the instructions, and a copy of my minetest.conf file, which has, it has all the special settings that I put in there. Nothing really too major. If you open up the instruction file, it'll tell you exactly where to place everything. It has the command if you're running Linux or Mac. All you have to do is type minetest and server RGS. In here is the points of interest. So I put the coordinates of the home base in case it puts you out in the middle of nowhere. All you have to do is teleport to one of these coordinates. And there's the haunted house. I didn't show the underwater lab, which I will show on this one. I credit everybody for the texture packs. Every mod has credits in there. Yeah, it's all there. So let us get started with this. So here is my worlds folder, and I'm going to go in here and take modern RGS and drop it right in there. And there it is. And I already have the texture pack already copied over. So, like I said before, you can see here's the bin directory, which has the Minetest exe executable file in it. On Linux, like I said, you don't have to do this batch file deal. But what we're going to do is, we're here. Where is it? There it is. I have it right there. And it's going to boot up into my command prompt here. And it's booting into server mode. And you'll see it go through here. Hopefully it translates well on camera. It should. It takes a long time. Look at all that stuff. Warnings and the warnings are nothing. They're just the game's crying about different light sources and stuff like that. Well, that'd be funny if it failed, because right now it's stopped. Come on. You can do it. There we go. You see that you get that Minetest little art there? The game is effectively loaded in server mode, so it's running in the background. And there's all that. Cool. So now all I have to do is go in and boot up my game. There's my game client. And I'm going to switch to game capture. Oh, it has to boot up first. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So all we have to do is when you boot into server mode, you have to connect to localhost, which is 127.0.0.1 port 30,000, or you can just type in localhost. And I'm not going to give it a password, and I'm going to connect. And this takes a little bit. There's an awful lot of stuff that it loads. I wish it was just as easy as when you turned on, one of my videos. Kind of, it's just there. It takes a minute or two to load, and then I'm going to show the two places that I missed. So, in the I don't know if this is going to show up here. The haunted house. The haunted house, I actually put a front door on it, is so you can get into the travel net, and the trav net will take you to the haunted house, which is I think it's like 300 or 400 blocks directly behind it. I put it out of the way, and that has the roller coaster in it. All the quarry and the bread making machine and the sorter over at the convenience store at the farm, all that stuff has been switched off, and it can be easily turned on just by right clicking on the Blinky plant, which I'll show you what I mean. As this loads, I'm running an awful lot of stuff right now. I got OBS running. I got Notepad. Let's see how much we're actually using here. Well, the CPU is only at 31%, and the graphics card is at 53%. So hopefully this will load. It's going to look pretty stupid if it doesn't. Now, let's see. I've tested this file on Mac and Linux, two different distributions of Linux, and on my Ubuntu server. So I know this world works. We're just waiting for the file to load. And this is a good thing because you'll see actually how long it takes. There's an awful lot of, there's 100, I think it's up to 170 mods that are in here. So I will just find things to talk about until it loads. It's taking its sweet time. So how's everybody doing? It is a chilling 63 degrees out right now at noon. And the last 2 days we were up in, one day was in the 90s, and yesterday was 85, and the day before that was 91. And then all of a sudden back down to 63, and rain and everything else. So Mother Nature is really playing havoc on us out in Chicago. And I think this is taking a little bit. Oh, it's at 70%. I don't know what it's loading. Usually I have the, the console turned on. It's running through all the images. There's a whole bunch of images that it says it can't load. But again, that's normal. And now that's the one thing that you have to watch in the debug text file. If it's recording everything, you will have Every morning I have to clear like a 700 gigabyte. No, I'm sorry, 700 megabyte file of all the errors and warnings. No matter what I set the error level reporting to, it reports everything. If the game sneezes, it reports it. So I have to go in there and get rid of that. Ooh, we're at 84%. Oh, look at that. We're here. That took a while, didn't it? Awkward silence. Yeah, everything works. And I updated, look at that. We got wood out here now. Maybe we'll see the dragon. He's been flying around. Okay, so everything works. Now, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, I forgot I have to. So when you get into the world the first time, you're going to have to grant yourself. So, let's see. There we go. Now I have all my privileges. So whatever username that you use to log in, you just have to grant yourself all privileges. And there's a lot of secret passages and a lot of different mechanical stuff that I built. Forgot to show you the whales. There's the whales. Hi, Mr. Whale. There's another one. They don't do much. You just sit there, that's fine. If you come down here. Now, why did I want to come down here? Oh, the aquarium. There's a bunch of these secret doors. And they lead to little hallways. This leads to the underwater house on the other side. So you got to look for that. There's also a couple up in the Japanese castle and such. There was something else I wanted to show down here. I can't remember what it was. Oh, we're going to go up here by the waterfall house. This waterfall, and we're lagging a little bit because you see back here all the pipework stuff. That's all connected with all these pipes and everything. So there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of active blocks. Like the inside the house in the basement controls this outside fountain. And then you can control each fountain here with this. But over here, I'm not going to do the same thing that I did last time. Nice treehouse. Over here is the entrance to the secret underwater laboratory. And you could see that if you come to the edge, there's the underwater laboratory. And this dirt mound, you walk up close enough, it opens up. There's a couple pistons back here. So we are going to go down here real quick. And it leads you to this. Oh, you got to walk out the door. There's a better view of it. I was going to build a house here and I never got around to it. But if you come back here to the back wall, you see that? There's the doorway. We're not going to come back up here. Oh, I know what it was over there. I wanted to show you the secret armory. So if you come down here, this is the underwater lab. And there's the fish aquariums. We'll go up there in a second. That's a bright room. I love that room. Then you come up here and you got the dome, the underwater dome. And there's some things off. See, that's where we were just at down there. See, I changed this. Oh, well. And then more fishy tank. There was a shark in there. This is kind of cool because it's an underwater, like the pressure from the air keeps the water. And this is an access point. So you can come in. And there's sharks and everything all over the place. So that's how that works. That was one place. And we'll run up to the castle real quick. But the world map, as you know it, is all the way up to, and I can't get rid of these little pink flying things. They don't happen all the time. They're just, they're old mobs and everything else from mods that I used to run, but unfortunately it doesn't remove everything. So you come in here, that opens up, and back here, here's a secret doorway that leads down, and that tunnel is going to lead all the way over to the gate. There's a tunnel that goes under here and under the garden, and it comes out right here. And you would have found it if, see right there. Cool. Flying through trees, of course, because that's all I know how to do is fly through trees. Every video I have to fly through a tree. It's in my contract. So inside the secret base, which is right underneath where we're standing, you can get there by the elevator in the parking lot here, or the secret passage door, which I showed last time, and that'll get you into the secret base, which is up the back here. See, it's right over there. Oh, and what I wanted to show over here, like the mining operation. So the nuclear reactors is off that one mine back there, and they're running. But let's go over here, and I know I'm flying through. You can see there's what in the world is that? There's a bat inside there. You can find the UFO locker. I gotta get over here. So over here, off of the factory, here's the elevators to the mine. But the most important part is actually, you could start the mine when you go to each of the automatic quarry heads and you turn them on. But to get all this machinery running, so when all the material comes up from the mine, where's it? Oh, it's coming through the other side. Inside this doorway over here, you'll see a blinky plant up here. So if I right click it, you'll see it start to blink. And that means that it's operating. And right now there's nothing in the chest or in the injector. So what that does is the stuff being sent up from the quarry comes up through the top, and it comes down here and it goes into that filter chest. The chest in the item filter injector. And that blinky plant turns it on and it sends it down here to whatever line. These are all, you see, I have them all mapped out. And that'll send, so anything that needs to go through a grinder goes through this line, and then through the furnace. Anything that doesn't need to be ground goes through this furnace, and anything that just, it can't be furnace or ground goes through here, meets up, goes upstairs into the storage. And that's how that works. Here's the secret passage for the secret squirrel area. Cool. Yeah. So that's about it for that. I want to keep this video real short, but it's mainly just to show how to, what to do with the files, what files are in there. I also have an SHA-256 hash that if you want to compare the file to make sure that you're not getting anything other than what the file from MediaFire, and that will be posted on the, there's my dragon. Oh, Mr. Dragon. That is so cool. That deserves a thumbnail. If I can get it in. There you are. Very cool. I still don't want to ride him because they're in that dragon. If you right click on him on the tame dragon, you're supposed to be able to ride it. But every time I did that, it crashed. So I haven't looked into that, and I just remembered that. So if we come over here to, and I didn't show this last time. This was the biodome and the teaching lab, and there's an elevator here on the 3rd floor. Right there is a secret arsenal. Look at that. Is that cool or what? I don't know. I thought it was cool. So I could show that. There you go. That is a brief look at like the hidden stuff. And there's more stuff that's hidden all over the place. These lights are all controlled, and these lights are supposed to automatically come on, but you'll see these in the ground, and these are for the tech pack. So when it turns nighttime, or it turns to 1800 hours, it will turn on this node here, which turns on all these lights all over the place. And sometimes it will not come on unless you're in the area. And then all you have to do is click on daylight and then back to night. It didn't give me those. Oh well, but they're all on now. And here's my little convenience store. Get a cup of coffee real quick before we say goodbye. Love that. Oh, the hedgehog is keeping the door open. Look at that. Oh, that's too funny. That is so cool. So the animals can set those off. Nice. Back here, behind the convenience store. Let me drink my coffee. There we go. Behind the convenience store is another one of these little boxes that I made. And you click the top, and inside there's another blinky plant. So I do have wheat in here. If I turn that on, there we go. You'll see the wheat start to go. Very cool. And you'll see these boxes all over the place, and they just cover up the blinky plant to make it look cool. And all that machinery that does that. Oh, see, this is the horse that we have here. These are 10+1 mobs. Macromine's horse in Mineclone 2. I believe that's his. See, there goes the bread. What is that? Oh, that's scary looking. And now he's gone. I thought I had those mods turned off. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to play Mineclone 2, all the animals and the parrots and everything in there are utterly fantastic. So you will find that all those machinery are turned off, and anywhere all you have to do is follow the lines, and you'll see the blinky plant. And those blinky plants will those will turn on, the injectors and stuff like that. For the quarries, you just have to go to the quarry head and turn it on. They'll be stopped. Because if I had those continuously running, you would notice major lag. So that's going to do it. As we're going to exit out of this world here. real quick. But everything you see here, you know, everything up to the episode 258 is in there. So we will come out of here. We will exit. And let's see what happens with... See, this is the console file that runs. And it'll go away in a second because the game has an awful lot of memory to dump. There it goes. Now, the server is still running. I could log back in. It says RGS Pro leaves game, list of players. And you see here, Lua entry name, PMobs, NPC not defined. And it's because I used to run that mod, but I got rid of it. So, what's this one? Action server elevator broke due to arrival. I don't know. Well, you'll have to see. And then just by hitting Control-C, and now the server is shut down. So there you go. That is where the files are, where you put your files, the instructions, and a copy of my Minetest.conf file, which shows all my settings. Because when you run Dream Builder, you see I have the cows turned off, remove far mobs. It removes the bad mobs. Everything else. Enable waving leaves I have in here. Cinematic. Where is there's a block of... Here it is. Enable item drops equals false. Enable item pickup equals true. Remove items -1. Disable fire true. Enable mesh cache false. These are the ones that are... they are... not required. Vanessa E's Dream Builder, you put this in your the conf file, so everything runs correctly. So there you have it. And that will do it. So finally, the map will be published. And yeah. Your use will vary. I don't even guarantee it to start, but it's been tested on many systems, and Michael tested it, so we know it runs. So just follow those basic steps in the file and go from there. So if you do use the file, or put it on a server somewhere, or make videos against it, or whatever, the only thing that I ask is that you give attribution. Never claim work that is not your own. I never claim any work in my builds that is not mine. Some of the builds, they were influenced by Andy as Yoda, or builds, or whether it's Corrales, or whoever I got the inspiration from. And in each one of my videos, I give a link to whatever inspiration, even if it doesn't look anything like it, whatever inspired me to build that I gave attribution to. So that's the only thing that I ask, is that, you know, you give attribution. And going forward, have fun with it. Enjoy it. Always keep a copy of it. Blow it up. Build a first-person shooter out of it. Turn all the mobs on. Because I have the bad mobs removed or disabled, and just go through the mobs mod and enable it, and you could have the zombies and the bad ones, which I don't like. I don't like fighting, and so go from there. So thank you very much. Hopefully you'll get some enjoyment out of it, or inspiration, or you might hate it and you plant TNT under every building, like the last episode of Little House on the Prairie, when they blew the town up. And you could blow it up. That's what I'm going to do. Create an apocalyptic world using the copy of this map. And using the other, because I do have the vehicles mod, which has the airplanes which shoot. One of the airplanes does shoot, and it has those huge, if you go to the secret base, it has in there, the big robots that shoot. And they blow things up. So enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. And until the next episode, goodbye.